Welcome everyone to another startup and automobile documentation. What we have here is a 2003 Chevrolet S-10 LS extended cab. This S-10 extended cab is painted in light pewter metallic. The front door panels have storage with bottle holders, manual windows and locks. It has a graphite interior color scheme with cloth seating surfaces. The front seats are manually adjusted. But now that we're behind the wheel, let's start the engine, and this truck does have the available 4.3-liter Vortec V6 engine. The Chevy S-10 was a compact pickup truck that debuted for 1982 to replace the Chevy LUV. Unlike its predecessor, which was a rebadged Isuzu, the S-10 was assembled domestically and was in fact the first compact truck sold by an American automaker to be domestically built. The S-10 also had a GMC twin, which was named the S-15 and later the Sonoma. In the US, the S-10 would last 2 generations, spanning from model years 1982 through 2004. For 2004, the S-10 and Sonoma duo were replaced by the Chevy Colorado and GMC Canyon, 2 nameplates which are still going strong today. This 2003 model we have here represents the second and final generation of the S-10/Sonoma, which was produced in the US from model years 1994 through 2004. It rides on the GMT 325 platform, and it provided the basis for the second-gen Chevy S-10 Blazer SUV, along with its GMC Jimmy and Oldsmobile Bravada siblings. From 1996 to 2000, the second-gen S-10 was also rebadged as the Isuzu Ombre. Between the S-10, Sonoma, and Ombre, the Ombre is far and away the most uncommon of the trio. Anyhow, the biggest update for the second-gen S-10 and Sonoma came from model year 1998 in the form of a mid-cycle refresh. Said refresh gave the trucks restyled exterior fascias and a restyled interior. Dual front airbags were also made standard, as were 4-wheel disc brakes for 4-wheel drive models. The US market 2003 model year Chevy S-10 came in 3 body styles: a regular cab, an extended cab like this one, and a crew cab. As for trim levels, you had base and LS, with the LS trim also offering the off-road oriented ZR2 and the street oriented Extreme option packages. The LS-only crew cab models also offered a ZR5 appearance package. The 03 S-10 was offered with 2 engines. The base engine was a 2.2-liter inline-4 with 120 horsepower, but you could also upgrade to the engine found in this truck, a 4.3-liter V6 with either 180 or 190 horsepower. Both engines could be paired to either a 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic transmission, and as expected, the S-10 offered both rear-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive drivetrains. In the instrument cluster, we have 6 analog gauges. You have your tachometer and speedometer, along with your fuel, temperature, oil pressure, and voltage gauges. With this button, you can toggle between your odometer and trip computer. The hazard switch is on top of the steering column. It has a 4-spoke design, leather-wrapped steering wheel. The steering wheel is tilt only. The parking brake is foot operated. Your headlight switch, panel dimmer, climate vent for the driver. On this side, you'll find your high beam, turn signal, wiper, and cruise control stalk. Then on this side is your column mounted gear shifter. Going down the center of the interior, you have your central climate vents, your passenger airbag switch. Right here is your whole radio head unit, AM, FM, with a CD player. Below there, you have your very simple single zone manual climate controls, fan speed, temperature, different zones. 3 dials, very easy to use. Then you have a little bit of storage with a 12-volt power outlet. And below here is another 12-volt power outlet. Now this is a bench seat, so you can sit 3 people across. Folding center armrest with storage inside. Nice grab handle for the front passenger. Also one right here. Only the passenger sun visor has a vanity mirror. Manually dimming rear view with integrated overhead lighting. This is a very simple, functional interior, and this truck is super nostalgic for me because this is pretty much identical to what I used to daily drive. 2003 GMC Sonoma, same exact spec as this, identical interior, 2-wheel drive, 4.3 Vortec. Yeah, takes me back in time being in this truck because it's identical, same exact interior, same everything. But this truck only has 100,000 miles on it, and I can tell this thing has tons of life left in it. These are just awesome little trucks, and I've known that from first-hand experience. Now we'll roll down the driver's window and take a look at the engine bay. Two-wheel drive LS models came with this set of 15-inch 5-spoke alloy rims. Powering this truck is the S-10's top engine for 03, that being the Vortec 4300 4.3-liter naturally aspirated V6. It's a cast iron pushrod power plant with 2 valves per cylinder. In two-wheel drive models, horsepower is rated at 180 at 4,400 RPM, while torque is rated at 245 pound-feet at 2,800 RPM. This truck utilizes the optional 4-speed automatic transmission with low gear selection, and power in this truck is sent solely to the rear wheels. Running on regular unleaded with an 18-gallon fuel tank, updated EPA estimates for this truck are 15 mpg in the city and 21 mpg on the highway. It has a short and long arm front suspension and a solid axle leaf spring rear setup. Stopping two-wheel drive S10s are front disc brakes and rear drum brakes. Towing capacity for this S10, I believe, is about 5,600 pounds. So of course, being an extended cab, it does have the little opening back door. Now the handle on this one is messed up. I can't get it open, but that should be an easy fix. It's already known about. But the thing is, just move this front seat up and you actually have pretty easy access into the back area of this truck. Let's see what we got back here. So there is one back seat in this extended cab S-10, and that comes in the form of this little jump seat. Tiny little thing with this seat belt release lap belt straight out of the 1970s. Probably the same part General Motors was using for, what, 50, 60 years. Still using in the back seat of these trucks. Vinyl, very tiny little bench seat. And you have this, I believe this is where the jack is. And you have the two shallowest cup holders I've ever seen. You can open this back window up as a vent. And you have a coat hook back here. This dome light always reminded me of a block of butter in the truck I used to daily, the same one I was talking about. And that same truck actually was my grandmother's truck originally, and I actually rode in this very jump seat in that truck when I was a little kid, and even then, as a tiny kid, it was still a tiny back seat. And on this back door panel, you have a little storage area. Fuel cap is on the driver's side. Single exhaust. This one has a tonneau cover. The S-10 extended cab uses a 6-foot bed. But anyhow, thanks for checking out this tour of this 2003 Chevrolet S-10. And as always, stay on the lookout for future tours.